Howdy y'all, Los here. This is a logwood tree that we just repotted into the sweet raft style. Well, you want to see how we did it? Let's take us back in time and show you exactly what we did. Let's go. All right, got my container picked out. And first things first, I'm going to go ahead and get the holes screened in. And what better way to do that than use some sweet, fresh off the print Bonsai YEAH screens, huh? Woo! These are 2 millimeter thick. These are going to withstand the test of time, I'm telling you. But there's only one way to find out if they will, because I'm not 100% sure they will. It's to test them. Let's do it. I don't typically like to wire the screens down, but I've been doing things a little differently lately. Maybe I don't know if you want to call it by the book. It's not really that much by the book. It's just a little bit more, I don't know, structured, maybe you want to call it. I'm even going to do these like little twisty bits to keep the screen down, which I felt are like just a complete, I don't know, I wouldn't say waste of time, because it's, I mean, we are just wasting our time fixing these, making these bonsai trees, but you know, it's kind of fun to do it every once in a while. Why not? Showing you the back when you need to be showing the front. All right, just gonna do that. We'll be back. Okay, it's all nice and wired in. Let's pull this thing out and see what we're dealing with. Can't imagine there'd be that. Yeah, not too bad. Got a nice solid mass. Okay, I think I'm starting to remember why I laid it down in this way, because there was a lot of roots on one side and I thought I laid it down and it looked kind of cool if it would grow a raft. So I don't know if it naturally rafted out this way, but I think there was some intention of me laying it out so far on one side of the container. Sometimes I just repot these things, at least a couple years ago, and I wasn't recording things. Now I'm trying to not really do anything off camera. I want to make sure I do everything so that I have a record of what I'm doing to these things. There's a lot of things in this garden I did not record, and we were doing Bonsai YEAH at the time. So what I'll do is I'll repot this. We're gonna lay this completely down. This is a very odd tree. Look at this. It's a very ugly tree. As we see the bottom here, it's like two legs that come down and they like cross over, crisscross applesauce. Okay, so as you see, we've got some dead wood here. Let's go ahead and cut that off. Well, maybe that would work with our idea here, because we want a little bit of dead wood. So we'll lay this down. I don't know if I want to like get rid of this dead wood yet, and maybe good for ginning. Although, I don't know, this is like tropical wood, so I don't think it's really gonna be that great for it. So I'm gonna get rid of that here. Oh, this wood. It's pretty dense. I'm gonna put this in water and see what happens to it. It floats. So that thing I said about the wood floating or not floating, it's not that I lied. I was just misinformed. Okay, I think this is good enough. We're not gonna cut any of the roots. Whatever falls off, falls off. We are gonna set this real nice up with the way we love to set up our trees. I don't know if I'm going to wire this down, actually. I don't think it needs it. Maybe one wire to wire this down. I'll do that, have that ready. And then we're gonna use our tropical mix of akadama and lava mixed in with some pine bark fines. That's a perfect soil for tropicals. You may or may not need the akadama, but I think that having that little extra organic in there works out, because that stuff breaks down a little quicker. It's a little nicer, a little soil. Okay, we're gonna put down a little bed of soil to get started. We'll start off with the akadama. This is a small pebble akadama. All right, next, throw in the laver. Do a nice little solid scoop of that. And then here's the magic right here. Osmocote. You want to throw down a little Osmocote Bay on there. That way we don't have to see it. And it's actually down where the roots are going to be. Next, we're going to find, well, I forced this to be the front, although I have not decided which side's going to be the front. So luckily we don't have to worry about exactly where it's going to be, because we have only really two options, right? We've got front or back to front, with some variation in the angle, which we can solve later. But anyways, this will have to be where we place down our matted root ball here. I wouldn't say it's matted at all. It's nice and solid. We'll pull this back a bit, not put it right in the middle, but pull it back so that there's some depth to the front. And I feel like also that this back needs to be a little lower, because we don't want this tipped. So what I'll also do is I will scoot some of this soil away and slope it towards this side. Sure, that's going to mix up the akadama and lava, but that's okay. We're not trying to keep them separate or anything. I just like the layering. And yeah, look at that. That little angle there keeps them all straight up. I'll kind of go a little lower on that butt side. And then from here, just to keep everything in place, we'll go ahead and we'll secure it down with just a couple twists of this wire. Okay, and we're going to tuck that away, tuck that down. All right, and then from there, this is a matter of backfilling. We all know that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use some akadama, work that in, and then we'll top it off with our tropical mix. Now all I'm going to do here is just give it a bit of a trim and a watering. We're good to go. So we'll just start from this little side. There's some burnt tips. So we'll go ahead and we'll cut those completely back. And you know, I may even want to like wire this straight up. It's a bit odd that we're going to straighten out this using wire, but I think what I'll do is I'll add a little bit a subtle movement in the trunk towards the base. This reminds me of when Nigel Saunders used wire. We were all like, oh, he's using wire. And he used it just to straighten out a branch. He wanted straight, so I thought that was pretty funny. And I think these will actually root pretty easily with from the cutting. So this will go in our prop station. And these guys need to find a new leader to shoot straight up. And I think it's gonna find that once the tree settles a bit in this container. And we'll start finding some other trees, but at the moment, some other leaders, excuse me, I trailed off. But at the moment, I think we're looking quite savvy. Yeah, anything that's already cracking and breaking, that's not gonna be growing anything back. So we can cut that back. Deadwood's not really gonna be an option for this. Big knob right here. We cleaned that up real nice. Let's give this a good watering, and I think we're done with this guy. Let's go. Now, when I'm thinking about how this is going to be, I don't know what we're looking at. Maybe it'll be like a triangular shape canopy maybe one day. So I'm thinking we want to keep these lower branches a little longer so that they're going to grow thicker and, you know, be some powerful structure for the branches that are coming. What else can I say? I think this is just fine. We will see what this will turn into in a few months. We'll monitor it. It is the beginning of fall here, but we still have plenty of growing season to happen. It's just gonna be a little slower. That's it. Howdy y'all, Los here. This is my lavender star flower tree, also known as a Grewia occidentalis. Anyways, we wired this a couple months back. I don't even know if we featured it on the show, did we? I think so. Oh boy. Well, today is its first day on the show. Actually, it's been on the show before, very early on, but I could see a lot of biting in the wiring. And it's just time to generally clean this little guy up. Let's do it. Okay, this here's a Grewia, but we'll call it the lavender star flower. It makes really beautiful little flowers that last hours. So if you don't see them right away, too bad. You'll see the dead ones later. But we're gonna trim this back. So let's go ahead and pull back all these longer shoots just to get started, okay? I got a nice long one here at the base. We're gonna cut that one flush. And let me tell you, these will propagate, so get those in your propagation station. Matter of fact, I've got a ton of them, and I'll show you that after this. We'll cut this one back, and this one's got some major wire scars in this one. Oh boy, it's been on quite a while. I don't know if you can see that, but that's some bad wiring scar right there. That's right, that'll become the base of a tree. I do need to get this wire off, but let's task at hand here, task at hand. We want to make getting the wire off a little easier. So we're going to be pulling back this, trying to do the directional pruning method. Even though we are wiring, we can still employ that method as we cut back and prune our trees. Ooh, this is starting to show off some really cool movement and all these branches that I've been putting into this tree for years. It's really cool to see your work that you put into these things take effect in the later years. Very satisfying. It's a wild looking tree. Let's go ahead and get off all the wire in here safely as we can. That stuff's really bitten over here. Let's see if I can just unravel it. Yeah, it looks like we're okay over here. It's the single coils that are looking like they're a little bit more chewed in than the others. Yeah, this one's not so bad. That scar will go away. Believe it or not, we're going to rewire this tree when we're done here, so I'm not going to use as many wires like this. I'm going to use thicker gauge. I assume I ran out of proper gauge wire. Just doubled or tripled it up. Okay, last couple twists here and we've got it. The bark really looks really cool. It gets old looking pretty quickly, even though I know this is probably just a couple of years old, maybe 5 or 6 years old, this tree itself. Okay, so here's what we have. Now what I know about the Grurria, it likes to grow out. So we just have to encourage it to get up first, and then we can let it grow out. So I want to, I don't know, it's tough. Let me clean this up a little more. Just a quick little prune and a rewire after removing the old wire. It's a little bit more structure. Perhaps I can add something down here, but that could be done at a later date for sure. Add a little bit more movement to the straight branch. Bring it down a little bit before it curves back up. A lot of times these trees, they get heavy and they weigh down, and then winter comes by, sort of gets hardened there, and then the new growth grows up towards the sun. So that's what we're trying to emulate there, a little down up. All right, that's it for this Grurria. Looks pretty sweet. We'll work on that and check on it at another time. Find the front. There's a couple cool possible fronts on this, but let's get to our final one, a repotting of this cutting. And you're gonna wanna stay tuned for this one because we're gonna be giving this one away. That's right. All right, we got this in this beautiful mica container. We're gonna repot this, and once we're done, we'll tell you how you can win this. Cool, let's get started. First, I'm gonna bring this cutting down a bit. This cutting's already ready for its own cuttings here, y'all. Just go ahead and bring it down a bit. I'm not gonna completely take all the height off of it. Somebody may wanna do something with that height. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll trim back the stuff that got a little cold or something. I don't know, just didn't make it. Looks good, looks okay. And I'll just go ahead and I'll make more, no worries. Okay, a couple more Bonsai YEAH screens coming right up. I mean, the whole giveaway's just worth it just for one of these screens, I'll tell you what. We're gonna put down our soil first. A little layer of Akadama. Just a little bit. Nice. So let's see what we got here. I'm gonna make this super quick. Nice looking cutting. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice little trunk action. I think I will cut back that top a bit. Nice little stones there to probably keep it up. So yeah, this will have a nice root base. Yeah, that's not bad. I'm not gonna mess with the roots. You guys can, whoever wins that can play around with the roots. I'm just gonna get them in order so that they live nicely in this new container. I said I wasn't gonna wire it down inside, but I'm going to now. All right, we'll do a 4-point tie down. If I can fit in some more wire here. It's getting pretty tight in those holes there. Now, it's not entirely difficult to run wires through this when you have stuff already in your container, but of course, it's much easier to add the wires before all that stuff. So we got our 4-point ready here. We're gonna wrap it around the trunk. And we'll sort of angle the tree up this way. Cut that way back. Now I'm not even twisting the wires. I'm just going to sort of loosely wrap them around where I want them to go. And we'll let the roots do their thing. But I don't need to lock them in or anything like that. Okay, we got a nice Brazilian Raintree starter right here. Looks great. Let's go ahead and get this watered. I'm not going to mess around with it too much. A lot that can be done with this. This is just a beginner, but it's a great beginner. And if you want to win this, too bad you can't. April Fools. It's not April? All right, I guess we have to give this away. So the way that we're going to give this away, all you're going to do is type in "that's right" into the comment section. That's right, just like we did before. That's it. We're going to pick one of y'all out in a couple months. Then we'll send this out to you. All right? So if you like our content, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon. If you want to win this, don't forget to type in "that's right" in the comment section. We'll see y'all next time. Be cool, stay hip, get yourself a hobby. Bye. See, they're not going anywhere. Okay. Whew, lightheaded from that. It's like twerking. Look at that. Yeah. So that we have some nice straight upness. You know, straight up now tell you maybe about a beep. Dap a doop boo. Oh, oh, oh. Bee dee boo ba doo boo boo boo.